I hiked at 13,000 feet in Colorado earlier in my gap year. I remember it made cardio very difficult and I got asthma easily. When I learned that the trek we chose to Machu Picchu was going to reach elevations of up to 16,000 feet, you bet I was nervous.
Silent for too long, hot day after day, and it weighs on my heart.
Difficulty is subjective and there are many routes to Machu Picchu, so the statistics we used to compare routes were distance, elevation change, and maximum elevation. We took the Ancascocha Trail to Machu Picchu. Our 34-mile trek lasted about 2.5 days, dawn to dusk. Some of our trek was on a trail, and for some of it, we were straight up paving our own trail through the meadows of the mountains. Thanks to COVID and the fact that the Ancascocha Trail isn't very popular, we saw not a single other group of tourists throughout the entire trek. We started at 10,000 feet and reached a maximum elevation of 16,000 feet, although most of the trek was around 14,000 feet high. Our tour company was Crew Trek, a small business owned by Franklin. They made the experience very enjoyable in many ways, although one of the things I appreciated the most about them was the food they make. For every meal, a professional cook would prepare classic Peruvian and Quechuan dishes for us. It was like being at restaurants with very scenic views at both sunrise and sunset, quite an experience. We started off every morning with te and mate and enjoyed mate de coca with every meal. The cook trekked separately from us with horses that carried the tents, the sleeping bags for the freezing cold nights, the pads, and clothes, which made the trek significantly easier. And it allowed me to carry more camera gear. We saw mountains and waterfalls, walked alongside llamas and alpacas, walked through the meadows, forests, along cliffs. We saw plenty of Incan ruins along the way and got to explore them. On the third day, we arrived in town, took the train to Aguascalientes, where we stayed at a hostel. We took a hot shower and ate some good food, slept the night, and finally, on the fourth day, we woke up early and took the bus for the final stretch to Machu Picchu.
Don't you think I'm aware they're killing themselves under my roof? Sounds so fresh. Have nothing to offer, water and flowers, but they get bored really fast.
There were very few other tourist groups at Machu Picchu, thanks to the fact that Peru had just reopened. I appreciated that. Our tour guide showed us around Machu Picchu for a while, then we returned to Aguascalientes where we relaxed in hot springs for a while. Then, we drove back to Cusco. Overall, it was a fantastic trip and I hope to return someday. The views were incredible, the food was like no other, and the long trek gave me a lot of time to think about things and plan for the future. It was a fine way to start the end of my gap year.